when you battle a chronic illness, that lack of control is going to be there and it gets frustrating.
On our adventure. Ah, yeah, freezing cold here.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. I had a rough night last night. For the first time in a long time, I had an angioedema attack. And for those of y'all who are new, my angioedema attacks are where my body goes through sporadic and rapid swelling. And we were laying in bed about to go to sleep, and it started with the bright red rashes I get on my arms. My breathing became labored, and my throat began to swell shut tighter and tighter. So Judd got up, got my emergency medication kit, put IV Benadryl through my port, and that aborted the episode. But even after the medication helped me, I still did not feel quite right. And having to fall asleep, making sure you have EpiPens within arm's reach, it's unsettling, it's scary, it's not a good feeling. But despite all that, I did make it through the night. No hospital trips, no EpiPens. God saw us through, and for that I'm really grateful. A few minutes prior to the start of the angioedema attack, Harlow was acting weird. She was pacing, she was staring at me dead on, and she was whining, which is not typical behavior of her. But we couldn't really tell what she was trying to say to us because Harlow doesn't typically alert to my angioedema attacks. It's not like when she alerts to my fainting episodes, because with that, she's very deliberate. It's very obvious what she's saying. But last night, even though we couldn't really tell what Harlow was trying to say to us, it was obvious that she knew something was wrong. But even though we didn't understand her warning signs, we were still able to handle it. And I'm proud of you for being so intuitive. As y'all may know, we don't know my triggers for my angioedema attacks. My angioedema stems from my severe immunodysfunction. So we know that I have angioedema because my immune system is very dysfunctional, but we don't know what triggers the attacks, although we know some of my allergens. And I go into more detail about all of that in the angioedema section of my chronic illness video. And if you want to learn more about my angioedema, you can go to my hospital vlog playlist. My angioedema put me in the hospital a lot this year, especially pretty much all the month of January, so you can learn more there. I know several of y'all have been wondering what happened to the angioedema attacks. Well, it's not that they disappeared. As of right now, there's no cure for angioedema, and it's something that I'll most likely have for the rest of my life. My doctor speculates that perhaps in the beginning of the year, when I was having them very often, that I was in a flare and it's dissipated. But there's really no way to know for sure. Chronic illness is very unpredictable, and there's no way for us to really know how the attacks are going to present themselves in the future. I could have 0 attacks today, and I could have upwards of 5 or more tomorrow. There's no way to know for sure. And that's why I really try to take everything one day, even 1 hour at a time, because chronic illness is so unpredictable. I just want to make the most of whatever moment I'm in. And that's why we're always ready for the attacks too. That's why we always leave my port accessed, and we have IV Benadryl ready to go in my emergency medication kit, because the attacks come so quickly and progress so quickly. We have to be ready and act fast. We always have EpiPens ready to go in case the IV Benadryl doesn't work, and we're just always ready to handle my chronic illnesses as best as we can and to do all that we can to keep moving forward in this crazy life with all these chronic illnesses. Today I am feeling exhausted. Having an angioedema attack takes a lot out of me emotionally, one, because when your throat starts to close, your body goes into this panic mode. You can't help it, at least I can't. So just that sensation of impending doom and panic is enough to wear me out. And then the physical toll it takes on me too is a lot. So I am worn out. I am not feeling well from that. And in addition to the attack, I also subluxed my left hip last night, which is a symptom of my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Subluxing is partially dislocating. My joints are very hypermobile from my EDS, so today I'm not doing great. I'm dealing with pain, extreme fatigue, I'm exhausted, I'm not doing well. So today is a mandatory rest day. And I'm gonna be okay with that because this is my reality with chronic illness, and I'm gonna give my body what it needs. I just woke up from taking a nap on the couch, and it's just one of those days where no matter how much I rest, I feel like I'm never gonna get my energy back. It is this relentless fatigue and drained, exhausted feeling. But I'm doing the best I can, and I'm listening to my body, giving it what it needs. I know eventually things will turn around. It's just right now at this moment, it can be a little frustrating. Having Harlow here always helps. She's so sweet. Not only does Harlow help me with my physical limitations and has various tasks to help mitigate my disabilities, but just her unconditional love and support is a huge help on days like today, and every day, honestly. You're a good girl. I've taken another nap, done my usual stuff, taken pills, flushed my feeding tube, put more nutrition in the feeding bag, just relaxing. I know some people may think it's nice to lay around the house all day and relax, and that is nice. A lot of people enjoy doing that every now and then, but the difference between what I have to do today and just taking a day to relax is that I don't have a choice. Because of my chronic illnesses, because I went through an angioedema attack, which is extremely hard on my body, there is nothing else I can do today except rest. And it's that lack of option, that lack of control, that makes chronic illness so frustrating at times. There are so many things I would rather do than take all these rest days I have to because my body is constantly fighting against me. Instead of resting and allowing my body to recuperate from my chronic illnesses, I would rather be going to college full time. I'd rather be out working or just doing something else, but I can't. And my chronic illnesses are so unpredictable. We never know when I'm gonna need a full rest day. We never know when I'm gonna end up in the hospital. We don't know these things. And it can be really frustrating. The lack of control can be so discouraging. Today is a hard day. Last night was hard too, and it's difficult. But in days like today, I don't push the frustration away. If I need to be frustrated, I let myself be frustrated. But I know tomorrow is a new day. I'm doing exactly what I need to do to recover, and I'll do what I can to keep moving forward. I'm just here in the kitchen. Got my feeding tube stuff out. I am about to do another flush with water, my feeding tube, to keep it working. I mustered up all the energy I could to make myself some Velveeta mac and cheese, and then I went to take a bite and my body was like, nope, not having it. I got extremely nauseous, which is kind of unusual for me because when I wake up and I'm having an okay GI day, meaning I wake up without severe nausea and vomiting, I can usually tolerate Velveeta pretty well, but I guess today is just not one of those days. Chronic illness can change from hour to hour, day to day, so anyways, not having the mac and cheese I made, I'm gonna try some dry cereal, and I should be able to tolerate that better, but first I'm gonna flush my tube with some water. So I managed a few bites of cereal, and that's probably all I'm gonna eat today. I don't want to risk eating too much and then giving myself the symptoms of stomach pain, nausea, vomiting. Instead, I can rely on my handy feeding tube to give me the nutrition I need. And I'm really thankful for tools like my feeding tube that help me stay functioning and give me the best quality of life possible despite my chronic illnesses. And even on days like today that are really difficult, I'm still thankful for things. Thankful for tools that help me function. Thankful for my service pup. Thankful for supportive people in my life like Judd. Thankful for y'all who continuously offer kind words, encouragement, and support, and let me know that sharing my story is making a difference. Harlow, sit. Lay down. You're taking up a lot of room. I'm trying to talk to the people now. Yes, but you're very cute. So I am thankful for things, but days like today still come, and they are frustrating because, like I said, when you battle a chronic illness, that lack of control is going to be there, and it gets frustrating. I have no control over when an angioedema attack will happen, when my POTS is going to flare, when I'm going to be feeling good and when I'm going to be feeling bad. It's always a gamble at how my body is going to be functioning when I wake up in the morning, and from hour to hour it can change so much because chronic illness is so unpredictable. But I just do the best I can within my circumstances. I do what I can to keep moving forward, and days like today I give my body what it needs and I rest to let it recuperate. But the frustration will be there, and that's okay. That's part of life with chronic illness, but I do my best to focus on the positives and keep moving forward. Judd is working today. His 12-hour shift ends at 10 p.m. Tomorrow he is off, and Thursday he's off. Thursday we have a follow-up appointment with my GI doctor for my feeding tube. And tomorrow we've decided that he and I will try a new place for lunch. I like to set up things that don't take too much energy for me, but it's something to look forward to after hard days like today to kind of lift my spirits. So that's why we set up this lunch. And hopefully I feel well enough to do so. I just, like I said, I'm gonna take it easy. I'm not gonna put myself down too much because my chronic illnesses already do that enough. I mean, it's not my fault that I'm not feeling well, and I have to acknowledge that and know that the unpredictability and lack of control is just part of chronic illness. And with that, I will say good night. I'm going to bed early again, and I will say thank you so much for walking this journey with us and for joining me on my adventures.